Well, well, 28 years later. Oh man, let's get this started. So, from my point of view, I'm just give you my point of view and my thoughts on it, my whole entire thoughts on this movie, which I thought the movie was pretty good. But before I give you all the details with no spoilers, I'm going to just give you an honest take of my thoughts on the movie. So for the first hour of the movie, I think it started off pretty solid. I love the where it was going. I love what they were doing with it, the tone that it was setting. And from that tone, even from the trailers, we all think it's going to be somewhat of a father and son adventure. And I think if they would have stuck with that throughout the whole movie, that would have been what the people thought was on the right pace, and I think that they should have as well. But I think that they were just. It seemed like they had two different movies. That's what it felt like, and the people who seen it, y'all know what I'm talking about. And without getting into any spoilers, I'm gonna give you some thoughts on what I thought were really neat about the movie. The fact that they shot it with an iPhone 15. I think they had about 20 for the it's about 20 for the movie. 20 iPhone 15s. Yeah, it was enhanced with camera setting, and y'all could look up the pictures and things like that too. They have pictures out there that's floating around. I think that was fine. And for an iPhone 15, the visuals, I love the visuals of the movie. The visuals were good. The shots were good. If you see the shots, you know what I'm talking about. The shots of the movie, it looked beautiful. The landscape and the how it zoomed out and you could just see everything. It looked beautiful. Like you're like, okay, this looks pretty well shot out. The infected zombies, which they they don't want to. People get mad when you say zombies, even though they are not. They're infected, filled with rage. So if you haven't seen it, they're infected, but it's rage virus. But in the movie, they do refer to them as zombies. So I think we all can just say, forget it. We could all just say, all right, they're zombies at this point. And people shouldn't be mad about it, but some people will be mad, upset that you're calling them zombies. Oh well, it is what it is. Overall, it is a great movie, and I think it did fell short. And oh man, like for example, what it presented was not what on the trailers. What the trailers gave you was not what you thought it was going to be. And a vibe of that, Sinners. That's a good example. What the trailers gave you and what you went in, you're like, oh, okay, that's not what I was going for. I thought Sinners was a good movie, but that's a perfect example of what 28 years gave us. It really didn't feel like nothing of connection between one and two. It didn't feel like that. Like, and it's funny because the person who wrote 28 Days Later wrote this as well 28 years later. And you kind of be like, are these even from the same people? Are they even from the same um group of people who like produce this? And yeah, they are. The second part of the movie is when it gave us more of a like trying to think of it, like humanized base kind of feel. When I say that, like they were trying to give us a bondage of mother and son now. Oh, there we go. Father and son, mother and son. That's like the whole movie. The first 30 minutes to an hour is like father and son. The last hour is mother and son. And I like both. I think it would have been stronger. People wanted a 28 Days Later vibe, and it would have been stronger if they would have implemented more zombie like terror and chases, and more bonding with the father son, or they could all bond together. you know so that was a good thought of it. And the advertisement, like the father, he wasn't even in the movie like that. And you know, in the advertised movies, you would think that he's going to be in it towards the end, and that's not the case. And some of the kills in the editing, I think people would look at it with the head tilt, like, you know, like, did they do that? Or it's kind of a little weird. And you have to see it to know what I'm talking about. Once you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, all right, there, that's what it is. That's what it is. Cause I did have, I looked at my wife like, you know, like, okay, that one's cool, or this one is a little, why they do that? And it's like a pause until you be like, wait, what? Like, it was shots that they didn't do with the first or even second movie, and I thought they were gonna, you know, there's been talks of maybe they don't acknowledge 28 weeks later, which they do though. In a sense, when you watch it, they have little flashbacks, and the ones who pay attention, you'll see it in the first 10 minutes. They had little flashbacks of 28 weeks later, so it is still canon. I just think they just don't care to acknowledge it. Like, no, that we not gonna talk about that one. And you know, in the hindsight of things overall, I think the movie for me would be a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. Oh my god, I forgot. The ending was a go Power Rangers type of moment, and I'm like, it went to, now that was like a whole different movie. Like, it gave me like, are they trying to do a like a Saturday night skit? That's what you have to see it. You know what I'm talking about. That's what I gave me. I'm like, is this gonna be a Saturday night skit? At the end, I'm like, not. I'm in my head. I'm like, nah, this ain't real. And then you gonna see little Easter eggs of like, oh shoot, that's from, yeah. I'm trying not to spoil this stuff. I want y'all to see it so y'all can have your own thoughts and ideas, and get your own view of it if you liked it or not. I don't want to sway people of liking it and not liking it. So I want you to go and get your own thoughts and what you think of this. And so far, it was okay. Would I see again? I will have to see it again, because when I seen Sinners the first time, I thought it was good, but I was left a little bit like disappointed. Then when I seen it again, I was like, I kind of really liked the movie. So it could probably be like that, possibly. I think it is worth to go see it in theaters though. Maybe catch a matinee if they still do that. See the early one so it could be cheap. You don't have to go late at night or anything like that to pay the higher prices. Go early in the daytime and just get it out the way. I don't want y'all to stream it. I want it to be successful because I think it left open answers for the next two movies. The next movie comes out in January. It's called 28 Years Later, Bone Temple. But the if the first one does good in the box office 28 years later, then they will green light to make the third movie. So go support it so that way we get the third movie. It might leave room to answer more questions. But until then, see y'all later.